Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another review of Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 5, Episode 5, Who's Squawking. Now my kids tell me that if I'm going to do YouTube, I have to say like, comment, and subscribe. That is, I'm going to forget. That's not natural for me, but I'm going to try to remember because that's what you're supposed to do to, I guess, gain followers and views and stuff like that. So if you're watching this, like, comment, and subscribe. So the episode starts off with Candace and Chris. They're talking about house hunting, and now she's back on the bandwagon of wanting to have a baby. So she says she needs more space, so they're looking for a bigger house. I guess now they're looking, instead of looking at the $5 million range, they're looking at the 1 point something million dollar range, which is still, a lot of house. Really pretty houses can be found at 1.2 million. And she recaps what happened at Karen's party, and she also tells Chris that she was invited to Monique's lake house, and she wasn't sure at that time whether or not she was going to go, and her husband convinces her to go ahead and go to the lake house party, to the lake house getaway weekend. Then we see Giselle. She's packing, synchronizing her schedule, I guess, with Jamal. So they're doing this long distance thing. He's in Atlanta, she's in Potomac, and she was talking about, the trials and tribulations of dating long distance. We see Ashley. Ashley's also getting ready for the trip to the lake house, and she's packing up and she's talking with her husband, Michael, who in this scene is holding the baby. And I just don't. Anyways, so they're having this conversation about her taking the baby to the lake house with her, to Monique's lake house with her, to her, her trip away, her little girls' weekend getaway trip to the lake house. He's telling her that, you will be taking the baby. And Ashley, I guess, has no problem with that. She's one of those, overprotective, like all new moms. She's very overprotective of her baby, and she wants to be with him all the time. So it's nothing for her. But I think that a proper husband would have said, you do need time away from the baby. You're having a girls' trip. You need to get away, relax. I'll take care of the baby. Go have a good time with your friends. You really do need a break. And it's only natural for him. You would think that it would be natural for him to want to see his wife get a break, because that baby is with her 24/7. Number one, she's very overprotective. Number two, I don't know how involved Michael really is in the day-to-day care of the baby. So it would be, any husband would be like, you need a break. It's not natural for you to have the baby attached to you like this all the time. Go out with your friends, have a good time. I'll take care of everything here. Dean will be just fine when you get back. They can FaceTime while she's away. I don't understand why he's like, you will be taking the baby with you. And his excuse is that, a baby this age needs to be with their mom. Okay, yeah, we know that, but mom can have a break. A couple of days break from the baby and everything will be just fine. So, and it's more bonding time with him and his son. And it was kind of like he was telling her, you're the one that wanted the baby. And remember, we had an agreement that this baby was going to be all you 100% of the time. And like he's reminding her, you wanted the baby. If you want to go out and have fun with your girls, you got to take the baby with you because this is what you wanted. That's what it seems like to me. Well, also, it seems like, and we will find out in the next episode, that maybe he just really wanted Ashley out of the house so he can do what he needed to do. But the thing is this, is that even if he wanted to do whatever he wanted to do without Ashley being there, he could have just gotten a babysitter or a nanny for the night or a couple of nights that he was going to be out and about. He didn't have to take the baby with him wherever he was going, whatever he was doing. So he still could have done whatever he wanted, just, get a babysitter or have the nanny come over and stay there a couple of nights. I just don't understand why he made her take the baby. And then when Ashley arrives to the lake house, of course, she makes it look like it was her choice to bring her baby. And she does this whole thing about, I just can't be without him. No, the truth of the matter is your husband made you take the baby because, he didn't want to fool with that. That was really sad to me. So everybody starts arriving at the lake house. Everybody is invited. Everybody shows up, even Candace. And there's like an incident with the bird because, Monique has her pet bird, T'Challa, and she brought the bird with her to the lake house. And while they're in the kitchen talking, the bird starts flying around and like makes a beeline to Wendy for whatever reason and almost, pecked her to death. So that was funny. And so let's get to the gist of this. It's a beautiful lake house, by the way. It was a whole lot more than what I expected it to be. And there's the lake house, and then the lake house has a guest house. And so when they're divvying up the rooms, of course, Monique gets the master bedroom. Giselle and Robin take the guest house. Ashley takes the room with the crib because, Monique obviously will has a nursery there for her baby. So Ashley takes the nursery. And I don't know how the other girls divided up their rooms. Okay, so, and then, let's see, let's get to the meat of this. Let's get to the juicy part, because this is a part 1 and part 2 is going to be even juicier. Okay, so as soon as Ashley gets there, Wendy starts attacking her about why she brought her baby. And I mean, Wendy came completely out of left field with this whole thing of, well, why did you bring your baby? I had to make arrangements for my baby. I didn't bring my child here with me. And I'm like, okay, girl, what's the problem? What really is the problem? Number one, you could have brought your baby if you wanted. I can't see Monique telling you no. She told Ashley it was okay. And even if Monique told you no, you could still have brought your baby. Who cares? You could have brought your baby if you wanted to bring your baby. Why are you harping on Ashley for bringing her child? Like, anybody with 2 brain cells connected could see that there was something more going on with Wendy other than Ashley bringing the baby. I don't know if she didn't like Ashley. I don't know if she kind of I don't know what was going on, but it just didn't make any sense for her to go so hard on Ashley for bringing her child. Nobody else had a problem with Ashley bringing her baby other than Wendy, the new girl, the newcomer. That was just crazy. And so, it got heated. They were like, her and Ashley started going at it, and Ashley just had to kind of just shut down. And Robin was holding the baby, and Robin had to take the baby out of the room because they were getting so loud for no reason. I just didn't understand why she had a problem with her bringing the baby. And then Monique said that she even offered she offered it to Ashley as an option. You can bring your baby with you if you want. And then this whole time that Ashley and Wendy are going at it, Candace is completely silent. Now, you would have thought that she would have put her girl in check because her and Ashley have just made up. And if you're serious about rebuilding your friendship with Ashley, why couldn't you calm your girl down in the kitchen? Why couldn't you tell Wendy, girl, don't worry. It's not like you're going to be babysitting the baby. You're acting like Ashley's going to pawn off the baby to you, and you're going to be the one forced to take care of it, get up in the middle of the night with it, breastfeed it, feed it, change its diapers. This baby's got nothing to do with you. And also, on top of everything else, Ashley brought her nanny. So even Ashley's probably not going to be interacting that much with her own baby. And I don't know if they were trying to, if like Wendy and Candace were had a private conversation at some point, and Candace was going to use Wendy to kind of go after Ashley because maybe Candace still doesn't see it for Ashley, and so she can't come and attack her because they've supposedly made up, and so she's going to use Wendy to go after Ashley. And I don't know if they were trying to get Ashley to say, oh, I brought the baby because my husband made me. It seems like the whole thing was really like an attack on her marriage. It wasn't about the baby. It was an attack on her marriage. Like, why are you bringing your child when you have a whole entire husband at home who could have allowed you to take a couple of days away from the baby? So they were really trying to it was really about Michael and Ashley, and maybe them trying to insinuate they really wanted to say, okay, your husband, you take the baby so he can go out there and start boinking boys while you're away for the weekend. Okay. Then there's this whole issue with the phones. They're not getting any service because we're in the middle of nowhere. And Monique and Wendy decide to have a conversation. And Monique tells Wendy that, what was all of that about in the kitchen? And Wendy talks about how she had to sacrifice so much to come to this getaway. And, her baby was premature. And, she had to go through so much just to be able to get away. And why couldn't Ashley do the same? You and Ashley are two different people living two different lives. What you're doing, she don't got to do. Why is it your business why she brought her baby? You did whatever you had to do to get away so you can drink and have fun with the girls. Fine, we commend you for that. But what does this have to do with Ashley? So Monique tells her, you probably had a great message or whatever the hell, but your delivery was just off. The way you brought it to her was just all wrong. And I don't know how her delivery, if she would have changed her delivery, to me, her message was still crap. Because why do you question how someone else mothers? If she's the kind of mother that has to have her baby with her 24, that's her business. That's her thing. You have nothing to do with baby Dean. You're not raising Dean. Dean has nothing to do with you. So what are you going to be doing that would be so horrible for the baby to be there? If y'all get totally drunk out of your mind and y'all want to do whatever, the nanny's there to take the baby away. We didn't even hardly see the baby. We saw the baby one time, and that's when she arrived. And then we didn't see the baby anytime after that. So what is your deal, Wendy? That just really blew my mind. Okay, so then Candace and Giselle have a talk. So Candace and Giselle, had this beef where Candace had gone on Twitter and completely went after Giselle about her $900,000 cabin and whatever else she said about her on Twitter. And it was because on some Bravo online show or something, Giselle and Robin, I think was it called Bravo After the Show or something? Giselle and Robin had said something about Candace. I don't even know what it was. I missed that. If they talked about it in last week's episode or this episode, I have no idea what was said. So they said something and it triggered Candace's Twitter fingers. And so they talk about it, and Candace tries to explain herself to Giselle or why she did what she did. And Giselle said, okay, but whatever we said was just a little tap. You came guns blazing, full artillery. You just completely came after me. And it was just so unbalanced because whatever we said was just slight shade, just for a couple of laughs. And then you just came hard. You came because that's how Candace fights. Candace doesn't know how to do slight shade in return. Like if you shade me a little bit, I'm going to shade you. She don't know how to do that. You'd say anything other than Candace is the greatest thing on earth. She is coming guns blazing. She's going to be hitting you so freaking hard below the belt. So evidently it seems like they got over, but you can't really trust Giselle. Giselle and Candace are a lot alike in the fact that they're quick to say, well, okay, they're a lot alike in as far as you'll think everything is fine, but one little thing triggers them and then they're back onto, dragging you. So anyways, they're just, I don't know if I could try. I don't know if, anyways, Giselle just can't be trusted. But Candace fights real dirty. So they hug it out, whatever, acting like, they're over it and they've reconciled. Now, dinner is served. Everybody gathers around the table for dinner. And I really wanted to try that salad. The chef made a strawberry cucumber something marinated in white wine. Oh, that sounded so good and so refreshing. And anyways, so at dinner they start off with a game called Game of Curiosity, basically asking questions about each other or to each other to get to know each other better or something. I have no idea. So somebody questioned, I think it was I don't know who it was. I think it was it Ashley or was it Monique? Someone questioned Candace about, something about like her school background, where she went to school when she was a little girl or whatever the hell. And she says, that she went to a school where she was the only brown girl. I'm like, why are you talking like that? Why can't you just say I went to an all-white school and I was one of the very few black girls there? Why are you coming off with, I went to a school where I was the only brown girl? Just say, okay, I went to a white school and there were very few blacks there. And then Ashley said, well, is this the reason why you pursued African American studies when you went to college? I like that. It showed that Ashley took an interest in Candace. And Candace said, yes, this is the reason why I pursued African American studies when I was in college. Okay, then it's Giselle's turn. So Giselle says something about, she said something about her nose. She said something about, so when did you get a nose job? And Candace was like, a nose job? What are you talking about? And Giselle said, you got a nose job, right? Oh, no. Giselle says something like, is that the reason why? She's so crazy. She says something like, is that the reason, when she was talking about, going to college and majoring in African American studies, I think Giselle said, and then, okay, is it because of that you got a nose job or something like that? And then Candace was like, I didn't get a nose job. What are you talking about? What nose job? And everybody at the table is like, what? We're like, what is she talking about? And then Giselle says, isn't it common knowledge you got a nose job? And so Bravo puts a side-by-side picture of Candace now and Candace back in 2002. I don't know. I couldn't tell. I'm not good at stuff like that. I mean, I can only tell the very obvious things, like, Michael Jackson, from Jackson 5 to, to now. I can see that difference. But those slight little tucks and stuff that people do to kind of, I can't tell, to refresh little facelifts or Botox, and I can't really tell unless it's something really drastic. So I couldn't tell. But that was so shady of Giselle. Okay, and then somebody asked, who was it? I forgot who it was. I can't believe I forgot. Someone asked Robin, do you believe that you and Juan will ever get married? And I think Robin was like, I think she said, yeah, we're on our way there. And Giselle, in her little confessional, she was like, it was so hard for her to be quiet because she knows for a fact that they're going to get married because, Juan confided in her that he wanted to propose and needed Giselle's help to get a ring and how to propose and all of that. So, Giselle, she had to bite her tongue, but she was like, of course I know they're going to get married because she knows about Juan wanting to propose to Robin. And then Karen asked Giselle about Jamal's infidelity. These women hate each other. Okay, so Karen said something about, she asked Giselle, how do you get over his infidelity or something like that. This is supposed to be a game, y'all, not an interrogation. And so Karen says that, they've forgiven each other. They're moving forward. The past is behind them. And of course, in Karen's confessional, she's like, how do you move forward from a man who was having babies with people in his congregation? Wow. Oh, Lord. I'm hoping that this is, I don't know. I am so confused about Giselle and Jamal. I'm hoping that this is just for show. And I'm hoping that she had a really good talk with her daughters and said, look, your daddy and me are going to pretend we're getting back together because we need these Bravo checks. I hope to God that this is what it is, because every single time someone other than Giselle talks about Jamal, it is horrible stuff. I don't know. I don't read the blogs, so I don't know the full history of Jamal and Giselle other than they were married. He was a pastor. He cheated. They divorced. That's all I know. I don't know how many women. I don't know how many other kids he's had, but he was having children with the members of his congregation. Wow. If this is just for show, I can roll with it because, like, you want to secure the bag, make this money, because you don't know how long this stuff is going to last. They can kick you off the show tomorrow. So I get it. You're thinking about your children's future. And as long as you had a good conversation with your daughters, like, we're going to pretend like we're getting back together so we can, like, increase the juiciness of our storyline. Because really, most of the time, Giselle has no storyline. When she doesn't have a man in her life, I guess her whole purpose is to stir the pot. So yeah, she does have a storyline. She stirs the pot. She's the one that can give it and keeps the show interesting. But now she really has a storyline. And so I'm hoping that's what it is. And her girls know that they're just pretending this is all a game. We know that mommy and dad are not really back together, but we're just all going to pretend. I hope so, because if this woman is really serious about getting back with Jamal, then she's probably desperate, because she cannot be serious about bringing this man back into her life and back into her children's lives in this way. Oh my God, I don't know what to say, y'all. I'm just speechless with Giselle. I got to get my thoughts together. I don't know. But Karen is shady. Okay, so then Giselle asked if Ashley's butt had healed, because at the Ashley's coming out the house dinner that they threw for her, she had mentioned that she had her butt hole was torn. It was torn from having the baby, I'm assuming, and so Giselle asked her if her butt was healed, and she said no, it's still not healed. Okay, so then Karen basically confronts Wendy because, oh yeah, I forgot to mention, when they were all driving to the lake house, it was in one car, we had Monique, Karen, and Giselle. And I think that's when the drive to the lake house, I think that's when it was mentioned. I think Giselle told Karen that, Wendy is talking about you. She's saying that you and Ray no longer sleep together. And, Karen didn't like that. So when they were playing Game of Curiosity, Karen decides to take this opportunity to confront Wendy about it and said, you know what? She didn't even ask her a question. I think she basically confronted her. And she basically was like, look, I heard that you had some concerns about what's going on in my bedroom with my husband. And I just want you to know, any kind of concern that you have about me, come to me. Don't go chitter chattering with everybody else but me when the topic is me. So whatever other issues you have about Karen, come to Karen. In fact, why don't you invite me to dinner? Invite me to lunch, and we'll have a conversation about it. I will satisfy all your curiosity that you have about me. And so Wendy takes it in stride, and she's like, yeah, it's no problem. Yeah, we'll have dinner. And then this brings up the topic of what is really going on between Karen and Wendy. And so Wendy said, it's hard for me to approach you because every time I try to talk to you, you just kind of blow me off. And Karen says, no, I don't. And then Shady Bravo shows a clip of Karen clearly blowing Wendy off when Wendy is trying to have a conversation with her. And so Karen says, I don't even really know you. This is like the first time that I've actually sat down and had a conversation with you. And then Wendy tells in her confessional, she's like, I don't know what she's talking about because we sit on the same board and we are part of the same subcommittee of said board. And the subcommittee only has 5 members. So I don't know where she's coming from. She doesn't really know me and has never had a conversation with me. We're on the same board and on the same subcommittee. And then they show a picture of Wendy and Karen at some event at the red carpet. I'm just like, what is going on with these women? Why is Karen acting like she don't know Wendy? And why can't Wendy be like, why couldn't she tell her at the dinner? Why couldn't she say to her, Karen, we've talked so many times. We're on the same board. I wonder why she didn't. I was waiting for her to say that, but she never did. I don't know why she didn't. Okay, and so then, oh, Lord have mercy. So this is how it all ended. The new mom thing came up again. So I don't even know who started it. How did it even start? God, I hate taking time from my recording to sit here and to stop and think about how things went because my memory is so horrible, even though I take notes. How did it even start? So Wendy, I don't know how it started, but the whole topic came up again of Ashley bringing her baby. And then, I think it was Ashley that brought it up. I think Ashley started it. I don't know what she said, but then, that got Wendy going, and she was like, what were they talking about? So it was the consensus of the group, except for Candace and Wendy, that how Wendy acted with Ashley when she first arrived was just off. It was just wrong. They were like, your delivery, the way you were going at her, girl, it was just wrong. And so Wendy tries to say, well, because she was so stressed out with getting ready and stressed out about leaving her baby, maybe that's where her anger and her aggression came from, because of her preparing, all the sacrifices that she had to make for her to come on this trip. And so Monique was like, okay, yeah, that's all we're trying to tell you is that, you really weren't angry at Ashley. You're probably just, going through something personally and you were just taking it out on Ashley. And so they were like, so can you please, Giselle, I think it was, say, are you going to go ahead and apologize to her for the way you came at her? And Wendy was like, I didn't think I did anything wrong. I'm like, are you serious? You are attacking a woman that you barely even know because she brought her baby to the lake house. She's a brand new mother who tried so hard to have this baby. You see nothing. You were basically judging her as a mother. And that's like a big no-no, right, in our society. You cannot judge a woman on how she mothers or parents her children. You just don't do that. And so Wendy was like, I didn't see anything wrong. I didn't see anything wrong with what I did. And so Robin was like trying to really help Wendy see the light. And because Wendy and Ashley, they were going at it. And then Ashley was like, you know what? I've had enough of you. I'm good with you. I'm good. And, Wendy's like, okay, good. And then Robin tries to diffuse the situation by bringing Wendy, calming her down, getting her centered again, and says, and she says to Wendy, she's like, Wendy, you have to see the way you, and she was like, I'm through. I'm not talking about her no more. I'm through with her. I'm through with Ashley. And so Robin's like, okay, fine. We're not even talking about Ashley. What if you came to me like that? What if you came to me like that? Because Wendy and Robin kind of bonded a little bit, when they took the boys out to go play and run around at the park. So they kind of bonded. So Robin was trying to help Wendy see it from a different perspective. What if you came to me like that? Wouldn't you feel like you had to apologize? We know you got something with Ashley, whatever. Leave Ashley out of it. You don't have a problem with me. So if you use that same delivery on me, you wouldn't see anything wrong with that. And Wendy's like, nope, I didn't do anything wrong. I would not have apologized. And so then Ashley jumps in and says, well, that's why you don't have any female friends. Well, that really took it to a whole other level. I'm like, Ashley, I thought you were done with her. Why are you still why are you antagonizing her? So then Wendy's like, no, boo-boo, I have female friends. I just don't hang around fake bees like you. And so they just it was just chaotic. So when it got really out of control between Ashley and Wendy, when they were really screaming at each other, Candace tries to step in and she tries to diffuse the situation. But she was still kind of on Wendy's side. I'm like, how could you even be on Wendy's side? Wendy was so wrong for how she treated Ashley. If she just would, sometimes, even if you feel like you were in the right, sometimes you still just have to apologize just to move forward with life. Otherwise, you're going to be stuck. So Wendy's not going to apologize. Ashley's not going to get over it. And they're always going to be stuck in this moment at this time. This will never go away. So just to move forward, is it really that important? Was it really that important to you, Wendy, for you to hang on to this one little issue? The baby's already here. What do you want her to do? Pack up and go home because she brought the baby and you don't like it? The baby is already here. Ashley's already here. So you don't plan on going home. She doesn't plan on going home. So why can't you just say, okay, girl, I'm sorry. My delivery was wrong. I still don't think you should have brought your baby. This was supposed to be a girls' weekend, blah, blah, blah. But I am truly sorry for how I came across. That's it. And Ashley is so forgiving. Everybody knows that Ashley would have been like, okay, I accept your apology. We're good. And then it's over. And if you don't want to, the baby wasn't even there. That's what kills me. The baby wasn't even there. The baby was with the nanny. She brought a whole nanny to watch the baby. Anyways, y'all, that's my little review. And I know that I don't know how many weeks behind I am on Potomac. There's another episode. I'm going to come back later with that. I just hope it's not as crazy as this one. But anyways, thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you later. Bye.